Legendary Pokémon are one of the best Pokémon in the franchise. They are literally the box cover Pokémon and are very crucial to the story. But which legendary Pokémon are truly legendary? Well, that's what I'm here to find out today. I'm gonna check through all the generations to see which Pokémon are truly legendary. We're gonna check this through the Pokemon's drastic change to the world. It has to have drastic powers that can very much impact the world, or just have otherworldly powers stronger than most regular Pokemon. It also has to have rarity. There can only be one of them. There cannot be multiple of them. And if there is, there should be a very valid reason. But I only say one of them should exist. For the other wing is also of how well known it is. The Pokemon has to clearly be known by humans as tales and legends told about it. And that's why I think they're called legendaries, because of their legends. So let's start with Gen 1. Starting with Gen 1, we have the legendary birds, which are not legendary approved. This is because we see them in other regions, for example Kalos, and also because of the Galarian birds. Now in the Pokédex, it does confirm the Galarian birds are not the same as the Cantonian birds, but if it's the case that they are Pokemon that literally evolved, having similarity looks to the Cantonian birds, it's likely they branched off during the family genes and became the Galarian birds. And also their powers are not even that drastic, it's just simple lightning, ice and fire. You know what other trio has that thing? I don't know, Magby, Jinx and Electabuzz. By the way, love them, but still that doesn't count as being a legendary. Even the locations are Power Plant, Frosty Lucky Cave, and then the Victory Road. Like the only one who actually makes sense maybe is Articuno, because you actually have to go for a puzzle. Why the heck is an electric bird doing just there in a regular power plant? It's so crazy. But yeah, to me they're not legendary approved. And we get for Mewtwo, who is also not legendary approved. Mewtwo seems more like a man-made Pokemon, something similar to Magnemite or Porygon, as it is just a clone of Mew, and I don't really consider that as a legendary since Mew is also a mythical that are different from legendaries. The other thing, Mewtwo doesn't have tales about it. Now it's about, for its rarity, it's pretty weird as we do see Mew in other regions, like it's random in Kalos, and if we don't know if that's the same Mewtwo or if that's another one, that I assume it might be another one that Team Flare probably made, maybe in contact with the Team Rocket, but still it's pretty weird, so I give Mewtwo not legendary approved. It has the abilities to be a legendary, but in standards I don't give it a legendary approved because it's clearly more than one Mewtwo or not. And the other thing as well, it doesn't have any tales told about it because since Team Rocket tried to keep it hidden. So yeah, for Gen 1 it seems there's nobody who's legendaries. What about Gen 2? For Gen 2 we have the legendary beasts, which are legendary approved. This is because they're well known because of the Bent Tower, Fury, and are very rare because they're the only Pokemon who have been reincarnated by Ho-Oh and given a new life. Now they don't have drastic powers unlike most legendaries, but since of those 2 points I still give them legendary approved. Now with Ho-Oh is clearly legendary approved. It's the Pokemon that literally brought the legendary's beast back to life and has a whole culture of it, being the Komono girls literally worshipping it as the god, and even has its own tower. So yes, Ho-Oh is legendary approved. Now Lugia on the other hand. Now Lugia doesn't get for tales. It seems Lugia is not really well known, only by the Komono girls. That is not that much, as I kind of want more people to know about legendaries, and that's why they're called legendaries. But since it doesn't have that much going for tails, so it doesn't get for that. But for the other things with drastic powers, it clearly gets. It literally has the power to, if it flaps its wings, that it will have a 40-day rain, and it's clearly the controller of the ocean. And it's shown that there is clearly only one Lugia, unless if you don't watch the anime, which clearly shows baby Lugia, but we're not talking about anime and only video games exclusive, okay? So yeah, Lugia is legendary approved. Now what about Gen 3? We have the Regis that are clearly legendary approved. This is because they have seals that are hidden away from the rest of society and they've been trapped there for many years because of how powerful they were. And also the legendary approved because of Regigigas that we will get later on when we're talking about Gen 4. But for now the Regis are clearly legendary approved. For the other legendaries, the Weather Trio, they are clearly legendary approved. Groudon, Kyogre, and Rayquaza literally created land, the oceans, and the ozone layer. And Rayquaza was the first Pokemon to ever Mega Evolve, and is literally the Pokemon of the ozone layer and protects it from Deoxys. So those guys get clearly legendary approved. But for Latias and Latios, they're not legendary approved because they don't really do anything. All they do is just move fast, and they're clearly shown to be in other regions since they appear in Unova. And there are clearly more of them because in the Pokédex it says they like to move in heads. Like, why do they even exist? They just move fast. So yeah, the Eons get not legendary approved. But let's get to Gen 4. For Gen 4, we have the Creation Trio, which are clearly legendary approved. This is because Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina are the rulers of space, time, and antimatter. So they're clearly legendary approved. And they're even one of Arceus' first creation, so yeah. And for the Lake Trio, they're clearly also legendary approved. This is because they literally gave humans emotion, willpower, and knowledge, and are one of the first creations for Arceus, so they're legendary approved. Regigigas is also legendary approved because he the one who created all the other Regis, including Regirock, Regice, Registeel, and Regieleki and Draco. And he's also the Pokemon who created all the regions by moving them with a giant rope. Don't know how he got that rope from, but he did it, I guess. So he's legendary approved. For Cresselia, it's legendary approved because it has an ability to literally go into people's minds and basically have dream powers. So yeah, it's legendary approved. It feels more like a mythical, but since it is still technically legendary, it's still gonna be like that. And for Heatran, he's not legendary approved. Heatran doesn't do anything crucial in the story or even have any drastic powers. He's literally just a hot piece of metal doing in a random cave, in a random unforgettable post-game story. So yeah, for Gen 4, most of them are legendary approved, except Heatran, but who really cares about Heatran? Now let's get to Gen 5. For Gen 5, we have the Tau Trio that are clearly legendary approved. This is because they used to all be the legendary dragon before they all split because of the two princesses' desire, and soon became Zekrom and Reshiram, and even have their own tower for them, so they're clearly legendary approved. For Kyurem, it's a bit weird, but since he's still a part of the group and he might have been the original body before they split to Zekrom and Reshiram, I'll still give it legendary approved. Then we have the Forces of Nature that are clearly legendary approved. This is because they have the power to literally control tornadoes, sandstorms, and thunderclouds. We're also gonna include Nemorous, who I'm confused what it does. Is it just love? Whatever. But since it's a part of the group, it's still gonna be legendary approved. After that, we have the Swords of Justice, which don't have drastic powers unlike most legendaries, but they are clearly shown to be in the history of the Unova region as are literally the protectors of it, and even one of the old Click guys even know about it. So yeah, they clearly get legendary approved. Now let's get to Gen 6. For Gen 6, we have the Aura Trio, which are clearly legendary approved. This is because they are the Pokemon that literally can bring life, death, and the one who's order between them. So yeah, they clearly get legendary approved. It's sad that Gen 6 only has these 3 legendaries, but that's how it is. So let's get to Gen 7. The Light Trio are clearly legendary approved. Well, only Necrozma. For Solgaleo and Lunala, they are not legendary approved because Cosmog are very common Pokemon in Ultra Space and are clearly shown to evolve into Solgaleo and Lunala when they eventually reach a certain age. So yeah, those ones are not legendary approved. but for Necrozma on the other hand is legendary approved. This is because Necrozma is the same light used for Metatropolus, and is also the reason why Z crystals exist, as they're just pieces of Necrozma's body. And as we know, Z crystals are very useful and are even a part of the culture of the Alolan people. So yeah, legendary approved. For type Null, he's not legendary approved. This is because Savala and type Null are just clones made to try to be like Arceus, but it has no tails about it, no drastic powers or anything, so it's not legendary approved. And for the Tapus, they're clearly legendary approved. This is because they're the guardians of all the 4 islands in Alola, and are also having their own type of special Z crystal, and are very known for the culture of the Alola region. So yes, they're legendary approved. Now let's get to Gen 8. For the Darkest Day trio, they're clearly legendary approved. This is because Zacian and Zamazenta were the Pokemon that literally defeated Eternatus and stopped the Darkest Day from destroying Gala. So yeah, that's legendary approved. And for Eternatus, it's clearly legendary approved, as he can turn into even a bigger Dynamax form, and is the reason even why Dynamax exists in the Gala region. So yeah, legendary approved. For Urshifu, it's not legendary approved. What makes this Kung Fu Panda looking bear a legendary? All it does is either hit you with one single strike or just multiple hits. It may be legendary in competitive Pokemon, but in this thing it's not legendary approved. Calyrex gets legendary approved because it's the Pokemon that used to be the king of the region, and clearly has tales told about it, as if with its 2 horses that are also legendary approved because they are known to be the steeds of Calyrex. So yeah, legendary approved. And for the 2 Regis, they're clearly legendary approved because they are very much with the other Regis. So yeah, legendary approved. Now let's get to our final generation, Gen 9. For Caridon and Miraidon, they're not legendary approved. This is because in the end of the game, the professors use a second one of a Caridon and Miraidon, and it's likely that there are more of them wherever they came from, so they're not legendary approved. For the Treasures of Ruin, they're clearly legendary approved. This is because in the textbooks we can clearly see stories of the Treasures of Ruin bringing down the collapse of an entire kingdom, and it's shown that they're clearly sealed away because of their abilities. So yeah, they're very much legendary approved. Now we get to the Lawyer Free, which are very much legendary approved. Now, as much as how goofy they are, they kind of have things going. Now, for the drastic powers, it's not as much, but for the tails, they're clearly known in Kitakami's history as being one of the most famous Pokemon, being the Lawyer Free, and are only one of them because since they used to be 3 normal Pokemon before they got infected by the toxic chains that are making them clearly the only one. So yeah, they're legendary approved. Ogerpon is legendary approved in Kitakami because since it is the only one there, because wherever Ogerpon came, it's clearly rare in this place since no one knew about its thing. So yeah, it's legendary approved. Now we get to Terapagos, which is clearly legendary approved. This is because Terapagos is the hidden treasure of the Area Zero, and is clearly known because of the textbook showing drawings of it, of what the people fought down there, of how it looked like, and it's the reason even why terrestrialization exists. It's even the last of its kind. So yeah, just because all Pokemon that you think might be legendary because they have base stat of 600 doesn't mean they're all legendaries. So that's about it. Strike on.